Hi guys, this is a redirect to my reaction to One Piece episodes 554, 555 and 556. Three great episodes. So this is the start of the big battle between HODY'S army against Strawhat Pirates. Strawhat Pirates assembled. So firstly we saw like how the plan was supposed to be. So Jinbe and Luffy finally agreed to a plan, and the plan was that Jinbe and Megalo were supposed to actually deliberately get into the trap that HODY was saying them, but the plan was not to get Shirahoshi trapped as well, but unfortunately all three of them got trapped. So before Luffy and Jinbe, they had this huge fight about so Luffy was so adamant to like save Strawhat Pirates that were taken hostage, and also beat up HODY, and then Jinbe was like, no, you are not supposed to beat up HODY, it can't be you because you're a human, and if you beat up HODY it will only reinforce the idea that humans are heartless and are very discriminatory towards the fishmen. So if anyone had to beat up HODY, it has to be Jinbe. So that's where the disagreement was, but they finally settled it. So they settled it by Jinbe saying that that Luffy has to be the hero that saves Fishman Island to reinforce the Otohime's dream that humans and fishmen are to live together, live peacefully together. So the plan was that Luffy would sleep inside Megalo and only come out when it's absolutely necessary to come out. So that's what happened. He only came out when King Neptune almost got his head cut off. So perfect timing, I guess. He could have interfered just a little bit before, but it is what it is. At least he saved Neptune, at least he saved the princess and Shirahoshi. But HODY has 10,000 men on his side in his army, so it was a huge responsibility for the Strawhat Pirates, because Strawhat Pirates and Jinbe included, that only makes 10 of them. 10 versus 10,000 men. That is a huge ratio gap, I guess you could call it. So but they had no problem. So Luffy, oh my god, this was such an epic moment. Luffy activated his Conqueror Haki and knocked out 50,000 men already with just a Conqueror Haki. So he already took out half of the 10,000 men already within just a few seconds of using Conqueror's Haki. That's how powerful Conqueror's Haki is. I am amazed that within just 2 years he managed to get that far at being able to control the Conqueror's Haki. The fact that he was able to knock out 50,000 men with just the Conqueror's Haki, that was amazing. That was so amazing to see. Wow, with just 2 years to learn all 3 Hakis, and you know, there's no guarantee that you'll be able to control all 3 Hakis within 2 years. I don't know if he can control armament Haki and observation Haki as well as Conqueror's Haki. I feel like Conqueror's Haki is like probably the most difficult, so the fact that he was able to knock out 50,000 men, amazing. He's a fast learner then. Wow, really must, I mean, he is a good teacher. He must be a very good teacher. And I'd love to see like his actual training, so I do hope we see that later on. We saw a little bit, just a tiny bit of Zoro's flashback of him getting trained. So he was supposed to fight the Gorilla King in his flashback, and man, he was an absolute badass as well. I mean, all 3 of them, all the monster trio, Luffy, Zoro and Sanji, they went ham, absolute ham in these episodes. But the fight is still continuing. Obviously HODY is not beaten yet, but so far so good. it looks really promising for the Strawhat Pirates that they will actually have a chance of beating HODY. But the question is, will HODY step up his game? Like, is he going to eat even more steroid pills? Like, is he really going to do that? That's what I'm actually wondering in my head. Will he actually go that far? Because already, like, he's eaten so many steroid pills. He didn't even fight himself. He did want to kill Shirahoshi, and we did see him using a water droplet on Shirahoshi, but thanks to Jinbe, oh my god, I was so shocked that Jinbe was able to use a water droplet to block and destroy HODY'S water droplet, because HODY'S water droplet can go through walls, so it is a lot more powerful than a normal bullet. So the fact that Jinbe can create water droplets just as powerful without having any steroids, that just shows Jinbe is on a whole other level compared to HODY, who has to rely on steroids in order to be anywhere near Jinbe's level, if you get me. So I'm just wondering who is going to be the actual one that defeats HODY in the end. Like, is it going to be Jinbe, or is it going to be Luffy, or are they going to team up with each other to defeat HODY? I don't know. It's probably going to be Luffy since he is the main character, but does he always have to get the glory? I mean, it would be nice actually if it was Luffy, because he is a human. So if he manages to defeat HODY, then he'll get the respect from Fishman Island. But then again, Jinbe said that you can't do that because you're a human. But if everyone is against HODY though, then surely they'd appreciate Luffy's action. I don't know. At the moment, the citizens are against HODY, so I don't think it's a problem now if Luffy was to get involved. I don't know. Anyway, so, oh man, Sanji went ham as well. So he did the Diablo jump, and he was literally walking in midair. He was running in midair. He was flying in midair. That was really cool. So we saw a little bit of flashback of Jabra doing the exact same technique back in the Water 7 flashback that he had. So he basically learnt the Rokushiki technique called Geppo. I think it's called Geppo or Teppo, one of those techniques where you can gain the ability to fly. And he was getting these PTSD symptoms of, like, oh man, I feel so bad for Sanji that he had to live 2 years with Yokohamas. I mean, I already said this, but I'm just like saying it again. It's just really sad that he had to constantly get harassed by these she-males. And that's terrifying. That's absolutely terrifying. But he did at least learn a couple of things, and it was really cool to see him kick the shit out of those men that he faced, the fishmen. So yeah, that was really cool. And Zoro, he really pushes himself. He really does push himself. And it's both something that you admire from him and something they find that he's just going too far sometimes. But wow, he was able to cut those shields. So there was this army, there was this squad that had these impenetrable shields, which were made out of this shell material that you cannot cut through. There were steel shells, I believe, but he was still able to cut through them, which shocked everyone because the shells are actually really, really, really durable. But obviously Zoro, the man that he is, he's able to cut through anything now, I guess. I mean, I don't know about sea stone, but everything else, yeah, I guess, so far. I mean, surely he is a lot stronger now, a lot physically stronger. So yeah, I can't wait to see, like, if he's unlocked Haki. He surely has, because they did recognize Luffy's Haki, so they must have been taught about Haki by Mihawk and Ivankov respectively. I don't know if Ivankov even has Haki, but surely like he would have taught the newcomer Kenpo. Anyway, so yeah, it was a really good fight. So Hody, like he actually summoned the Kraken, and the Kraken, I was correct in saying that's Surome, who actually helped Luffy and the Strawhat Pirates. So I was a bit confused as to why he would side with Hody, but I guess he forgot about Luffy and them. So Luffy, he told Surome that they're friends and that they should protect each other, you know, and like, we're good friends, you shouldn't be against me and my crew. So Surome was really happy to see Luffy when he did finally recognize him, and he actually betrayed Hody. I mean, he wasn't even part of Hody's army anyway, despite Hody helping him get out of the North Pole. Like, he's still loyal to Luffy, you know? So that's really good that the Kraken is siding with Strawhat Pirates. So the Strawhat Pirates, they have a huge advantage. I just want to point out that also the other members, so oh my days, Robin did that technique where she literally conjured these giant feet, these giant legs that were just stomping on the men. Oh my days, that was so weird, funny but cool at the same time. Very weird because it's naked legs, so you could, I don't know if they could, but just the thought of seeing this giant private part between the legs are, I mean that's just very perverted, but like, you know, like, it is a giant pair of naked legs, so I wonder if the men saw something, you know, if you know what I mean. And it's technically Robin's body, so I'm not saying anything. Okay, let's stop there. So that was a cool one. And Brook, he has some like hallucinatory abilities. His music has sleeping effects as well as hallucinatory effects, so that was really funny when those men thought they were in a fun festival, a fun fair. It was so trippy seeing them, like, it's like experiencing like a hallucinatory drug basically. Yeah, and Franky's inventions, oh my god, he upgraded the Sunny, so that was really cool to see. Him using the motorcycle. I mean, it's not really anything fancy, but like, I mean, like, in terms of like what he can actually do, like, he was just running over people basically. But like, Chopper had this tank, so he basically created docks, channel 4 and channel 5, which are different vehicles that Strawhat Pirates can use. And so it was really cool that Nami, Usopp, Chopper and Franky were using those vehicles to their advantage to throw explosive and stuff. So yeah, really cool. I can't wait to see more of this and how it actually, what the outcome is for this fight. So what did you think of these episodes? Let me know and stay tuned for more.